What's up, Naturalistas? I'm Nia Hope, and if you're new here or you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. So I decided to make this video today because one of the top questions, like #1 question that I consistently get is, how do I care for my natural hair? I have no idea what to do. I'm completely in the dark. And what I realized is that there are a lot of women out there who look at natural hair and the maintenance behind natural hair is this like daunting task, and it's completely foreign to them. So I decided to make this video today to kind of highlight a couple basic things I feel like every natural should know in terms of what it takes to take care of and live with natural hair. So let's get into it. So the #1 thing I think every natural should know is what they want out of their natural hair. And so it could just be that you never want to use creamy crack again. Like, you're stepping away from the relaxers. You're like, I'm never using that chemical in my hair again. I think back in high school, I did that, where I was just like, I'm not using perms anymore, but I was still religiously going to the salon and straightening my natural hair. So I wasn't really taking care of my natural hair. I wasn't doing it myself. Somebody else was doing it, but it was natural. So that's one way of deciding what you want out of your natural hair. It could just be as simple as, I'm just not putting relaxer in it ever again. I don't care about rules about heat or color. I'm just not perming my hair. That's fine. But I do feel like there's this huge push in the natural hair community for growth. Like, hey, cut your hair off and then grow it as long as possible. That does not have to be your story if that's not what you want out of your natural hair. You could just want to enjoy short natural hair. You might foray into the world of natural hair by doing a big chop and then maintaining that big chop. And that's something that I've advocated on my channel for the past several months. I have tons and tons of short natural hair styling videos. So if you haven't seen those, check those out. I'll put links in my description box to my short natural hair styling playlist. But that's another thing you could do. You could just want to maintain short natural hair. And I think the last thing you could want possibly is just to have fun with your natural hair. Like, disregard all the rules. Like, say, hey, I'm not using relaxers, but I'm going to straighten it whenever I want to. I'm going to blow it dry it however many times as I feel like, and I'm going to color it. I'm going to chop off the sides. Like, just have fun. So I do believe that there are certain things you should and shouldn't do with your natural hair depending upon what your own personal ideals are for your own natural hair. So the second thing to consider is whether you're going to get into the world of natural hair via a big chop or transition. So a big chop is essentially when you decide to cut off all of your relaxed hair, and it's called a big chop because for most people they only have barely any to 3 inches of natural hair, and the rest of their hair is relaxed, and they're chopping off all these relaxed ends and revealing their short natural hair. So that's one method of becoming natural. The other method is transitioning. Transitioning, I think, is actually really cool because if you do not want short natural hair at all, or just short hair in general, it kind of allows you space and time to completely skip over that whole stage of hair growth. So essentially, transitioning is just, imagine you have a bob's length worth of permed hair, okay? And so you stop getting perms, and so you have natural hair coming in. So now as time is going on, you might have 1 inch, 4 inches, 5 inches of natural hair plus, the 6 inches of bob hair on the ends, let's call it. And so when you transition, you do that for as long as you want. Some people do it for a year. So basically everybody's hair, typically the standard growth rate is 6 inches a year. So if you let your hair transition for a year, you will hypothetically have 6 inches of natural hair plus however many inches of permed hair on the ends. And then you can go ahead and chop it all off and you can be completely natural. So the third most important thing to know is your hair type. So hair typing is something that I don't talk about a lot on my channel at all, but I do feel like you should have some type of knowledge about what type of hair you have. And now there's all types of hair from 1A to 4C. So 1A is like bone straight hair, 4C is your kinkiest type of hair. And when we're talking about natural hair, for most of us naturalistas, I'm not going to say all, but most of us, we're thinking about type 4 natural hair, which is notoriously the hardest type of hair to manage for a lot of reasons, because it is the coiliest, curliest type of hair there is on the planet, okay? And that comes with its own things. So I'm talking talking to my 4A, 4B, and 4C girls. So I personally would consider myself to be mostly 4B with a little bit of 4A sprinkled in. And I will put a chart here so that you guys can kind of visualize what these hair types look like. Knowing your hair type is important because it will kind of allow you to see what your hair is capable of doing and also what it's not capable of doing, so you have realistic expectations for your hair and what types of hairstyles you can potentially rock as a naturalista. For example, because I'm 4B, I know that as I'm growing my hair out, my hair is not going to be naturally wavy, okay? Or have nice round big curls. I know that I'm going to have a lot of shrinkage. My curls are going to be really, really, really tight. And knowing your hair type can also help you to better judge where you're getting your guidance from. For example, if you're on YouTube looking at hairstyling tutorials, look for people with similar hair types as you. You are going to gain a lot of insight potentially, and you'll also potentially get a more realistic view of what you can do with your hair from watching people with similar hair types as you than you would from somebody whose hair type is like way, way different. So yeah, definitely determine your hair type. All right, so the fourth thing that I want to discuss is hair porosity. Hair porosity is, in a nutshell, how well or not so well your hair takes on moisture. I have super high porosity hair, and that means that my hair soaks up moisture like a sponge. It does not take a lot for me to moisturize my hair. It is naturally not super dry. I don't have to jump through hoops to get it moisturized. Now, low porosity hair has a hard time retaining moisture. This would be like if you find yourself putting tons of water, tons of moisturizers, oils and stuff, and your hair is still dry and just cracking and crumbling, you probably have low porosity hair, and there are certain ways you can kind of overcome that and get moisture into your hair, because in order to maintain a healthy hair just in general, you're gonna need to put some moisture in that baby. So I can further discuss how to take care of low porosity hair in a different video, but just let me know in the comment sections if that's something you're interested in hearing about. Now, there's something called a hair porosity test, which some of you might be familiar with, and all it entails is a cup of water and a piece of hair. And all you have to do is drop a piece of hair in that cup, and if it falls to the bottom after a certain amount of time, you have high porosity hair. If it just floats kind of in the middle of the water, you have normal porosity hair. And if it stays at the top and never sinks even underneath the surface, you have very low porosity hair. And that's a very, very easy way of calculating whether you have low porosity or high porosity. Now, the fifth thing you should know as a natural is to not try to force your hair to be something it's not. I remember when I was on, not my first natural hair journey, but my first like conscious natural hair journey, where I was really paying attention to what my hair was like and taking care of it and making sure it was healthy and growing and flourishing and all the good stuff. I remember when I had like 16 inches of hair. Okay, 16 inches of hair. I worked for that. I worked hard, okay? The maintenance I put in and day out and on a weekly and a monthly basis was crazy. My hair routine was impeccable. I had 16 inches of hair, y'all. And it looked like I had still big chopped. And imagine myself, I had never personally grown my hair out 16 inches on my own, my natural hair. And so I never knew that there was this thing called shrinkage that was going to happen to my hair, where basically shrinkage is, you guys have seen coils of anything. If you have a strand of something, but it's curly, you're never going to see its full length while it's in its curly state. You're going to have to straighten it to see all of the length of that curl, okay? So for me, my hair is super, super curly. So when it was 16 inches and curly, it looked like it was about 4 inches long, which, you know, I felt played, I felt salty, and I was like, this wasn't on my vision board for my natural hair. It wasn't supposed to do this. It was supposed to be long and flowing in the wind. I was supposed to be out here looking like Rapunzel, and no, I'm out here like it's day one, and this is unacceptable. But for me, I just had to come to grips with the fact that that's just how my hair is. Now, number 6, be patient. If your goal is to grow out long natural hair or just grow it out to a certain length, be patient, okay? Natural hair is like having a child, and I'm being 100% honest when I say that. There is a certain amount of attention that your hair is going to need. There's a certain amount of time your hair is going to need, and there's going to be certain things that you have to do to maintain the growth. So yeah, I definitely feel like if you're natural, patience is key. You're gonna have frustrating moments when you're detangling. You're gonna have frustrating moments when you style your hair and the style doesn't come out how you want it. But just be patient, okay? That's like truly key, be patient. But number 7, so whether you're on a growth journey or you're just trying to maintain healthy natural hair, low manipulation styles are key. So I remember there was a point in time where I lived in buns. It was something that I could easily just pull my hair back, and I try to do it gently as possible and tuck in my ends so that my hair wasn't just flying out, getting caught in, you know, hoodies and scarves and shirts and stuff like that. And I was less susceptible to breakage and split ends, and I always kept my hair moisturized in those low manipulation styles. It could be twists, it could be braids, it could be cornrows, it could be protective styles like putting your hair up in turbans or putting on wigs. There's a lot of things you can do that are low manipulation, and low manipulation just means you're not touching your hair a lot, your hair is not getting touched by things a lot, and there's less of a chance for it to essentially just break and get split ends on a consistent basis. So for me, when I was on a growth journey before, having my hair in low manipulation styles was really, really helpful and definitely aided me in the growth of my hair. So I would spend like Monday through Friday in a bun, and if I wanted it out for like Saturday, I would take it out and do like a twist out or something. But the majority of that time, my hair was up and out of the way and it was unbothered, okay? So number 8, you're going to have to learn how to protect your hair. And by protecting your hair, I'm speaking specifically about protecting your hair at night. So you want to invest in a satin pillow and a satin scarf or a satin bonnet. Why? Because cotton rips out your hair. If you're sleeping on a cotton pillowcase and your hair is just out, it's getting snagged in the fibers throughout the night, and that contributes to breakage and uneven hair lengths over time. Whereas if you're sleeping in a scarf or you're sleeping on a satin pillowcase, you're eliminating that breakage from happening and therefore maintaining the health of your hair and the integrity of your hair and the overall appearance of your hair. Okay, and the very last one, number 9, I kind of touched on this in point number 7 about low manipulation styles, but protective styling is going to be a major key for you. I know that for me, there were days where I just didn't want to do my hair at all. Like I just wanted to throw some moisturizer in it. It didn't necessarily look good. I personally didn't like it. And I knew I still had to take care of the health of my hair. I just didn't want to showcase it. So that's when I bought my first wig. And actually, I'll go grab it real quick. One of my first wigs that I ever got was this little bob wig with this bang. I should put it on. Oh my god, this looks so horrible right now. I haven't worn this in forever. Oh my gosh. Okay guys, just imagine this brushed out, washed, and looking a lot cuter. But on days where I did not want to do my hair, I literally would just slap this on and walk away. And the reason why I love this style in particular, guys, don't laugh at me. I know this wig looks crazy right now. But the reason why I like this wig is like, unlike wigs without a bang, I didn't have to worry about like trying to make my edges blend or anything like that. I didn't have to think about that because it's all covered up. But yeah, I thought that purchasing a wig was one of the best things that I could have done because I can't even tell you how many days I woke up and doing my hair was like the last thing I felt like doing, and the wig gave me an opportunity to not have to do my hair. And so I really found extreme value in that wig. I also just got my first lace front wig. I did a video on it, and if you want to see it, I'll put the link in the description box. And it does require a little bit more styling because, you know, the edges, you gotta get them together, and I gotta like actually like glue it to my head and whatnot, and it's extra. And so for that reason, it's not my favorite because it's not a quick just grab and go type of wig. But it is nice because if I do just feel like really rocking a wig, I now have one. So I do feel like, and it was a more expensive wig. Like this wig that I have here, it was only like $35, okay? So it wasn't a huge investment, but it served its purpose. and it served its purpose really well, okay? One of the other things that I did was Marley twists. I love them because I don't enjoy braiding. I feel like it takes too long. And so for me, doing something like extensions, I would always do twists. Always, because it's nice and quick and simple. Other thing that I fell in love with were crochet braids. I also have a video on how to install crochet braids on short natural hair. It doesn't really matter, short to long natural hair. I will link that below in my description box as well. And I crafted it for people who want crochet braids that they can put in an updo, so it's like a seamless, you know, back. But yeah, there's so many options. As I said earlier, I lived in buns. I specifically lived in Marley buns, and so the way I kind of protected my hair was after I put it in a bun, I just wrapped it in some Marley hair, and it gave me like the volume and the look that I was going for. And so that was really, really nice. I have a video on that as well, and I will link that in the description box too. So yeah, just thinking about protective hairstyles and being prepared for it. So like, you know, if you want to make sure that you have a wig before you big chop, so in the event that you hate it or you feel uncomfortable, or as you're getting used to it, you have something to kind of cover it up in the meantime, grab a cheap wig. They have them at the beauty supply stores. You can get them for as cheap as like $20. And I personally think that these bad boys with the bangs on it are the way to go. Like, it's just the way to go. All right, so yeah, that's all of my kind of like little tidbits of information about what it takes to go natural, be a natural, just kind of like a basic guidelines of things that you should definitely know. And I feel like kind of every natural should know, whether you're on a growth journey or not. It's just, you know, there's certain things that you should keep in mind, I think, if you are natural, and here are those certain things. Okay, so yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit that notification button next to the subscribe button. It's a little bell, and so you'll be notified each and every single time I upload a video for you. And yeah, that's it. So I will catch you in the next one. Bye.